Funnily enough, a lot of coaches think they need like an offer suite with like 10 different offers to scale to 7 figures. Nuh-uh. So if you know that you are unconsciously spending, or if you're sick and tired of making money and not knowing where it's going, it's time to change this, not by doing more, but by shifting your internal state of being. Over the course of 8 months, I literally jumped my bank account from 80K to over 330K, which is insane because I wasn't doing anything different strategically. I wasn't touring the world. I increased my wealth by over 330%. The subconscious energetic tool that I used to lock in a new wealth set point was welcome to the Alex Tripod Show, the space where we blend 5D frequency with real world flex. After coaching thousands globally and becoming one of the most trusted and triggering voices in manifestation, I realized you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you're willing to fucking become. So if you're a high achieving entrepreneur who knows that we're born for more wealth, more influence, more unapologetic power, then strap in. This podcast is your permission slip to collapse timelines, rewrite the rules, and embody the version of you that gets everything they came for. Because let's be real, nothing is real, everything's a hologram, and you're about to bend it all in your favor. Let's fucking go. Welcome, Rockstar, on today's episode of the Alex Tripod Show. Today, we are going deep into how I finally busted my financial thermostat, my financial ceiling. And this is something that I see massively in the space, people making 10, 20, 50, 100K months and beyond, and yet their bank balance is still at 10K or 5K or 2K. Like, how am I making all these sales, all this money, and where is it going? Why isn't my wealth increasing as my business is growing? And what's going on there? And I see this a lot. And it's basically that you have a financial thermostat problem, meaning there is something unconsciously going on for you to stay in the same financial reality and keep looping in that reality because you don't feel safe to hold your next level of wealth or abundance. So I want to talk to you a little bit about behind the scenes of what happened when I hit my first ever $120,000 cash month, 2.5 years into my business. And what actually happened, it's a bit of a funny story. And I trust that you're going to be coded with this story. You're going to find potentially similarities and aha moments of like, holy shit, that's where I've done this. That's where I've done. And the more awareness you can have around where you've been doing this or where this is still happening in your life, the more you're going to be able to actually clean this up and then put into place what you actually need to do. So I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit about what you can actually do to overcome this and not keep, looping in the same timeline. So, okay, picture this, 2.5 years into my business, and I have just spoken on stage in front of 500 people in an audience full of ideal clients. Funnily enough, a lot of coaches think, or like, solid entrepreneurs, they think that they need like an offer suite with like 10 different offers to scale to 7 figures. Nuh-uh. I had one offer, and I had repeatedly multiple 100K plus cash months with one offer, right? It was a $4,500 program. When most people are like, oh, I need a $99 thing and a $997 and I need a $5,000 and I need a $20,000. No, you fucking don't. You need one and you need to nail it and you need to scale it. Rest in peace, Cohen. Okay. So the first time I realized that I had a financial thermostat problem is when I made a $120,000 cash month straight after jumping off stage. Within 30 days after that speaking gig, I didn't even sell on stage. I just was so me and so unapologetically activated the audience that so many people in the audience were like, holy fuck, I need to work with Alex. And so at the time I was dating a woman who had a business who basically helped coaches get finance, meaning someone could work with me and instead of having to pay $5,000 in full, they could go on a $45 payment plan per week, but I would get paid in full. They would have the payment plan and they'd get a loan from a financial institution. So it's win-win-win. Win for the client because there's no financial pressure. Win for me because I get paid in full. I can use that cash to grow my business, and win for humanity because we're evolving, right? And we're making, personal development more readily available instead of thinking that we should only be using credit cards and loans and finance for fucking cars and shit like that, where it's like, so I loved this. And so access to this had a huge influx of cash. And so I had this influx of cash, and I wasn't really used to having over 120K in my bank balance. I was more used to, like, 2.5 years into my business, I was more used to having more around the 30K to 60K, you know, that was kind of like my jam. And so I decided that then was the right time to buy a business class flight and go to Bali and go for 10 days and enjoy myself. And that was fine. Okay, cool. I want a bit of reward. And so basically I got myself on the to the airport, and my girlfriend at the time was driving me to the airport, and I swung my big dick around, and on the way to the airport, because she had to be in Australia to take all the calls and stuff, she wasn't yet fully free where she could just travel the world like me. Otherwise I would have, you know, invited her from the get-go. And on the way to the airport, I was like, hun, like, here's my credit card. Like, come up for the weekend, book your business class flights. I've got accommodation. Just like, go home. Here's my credit card, and come next weekend, even if it's for 3 days. And she's like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So I get to the airport, and basically I see this Mont Blanc pen that's $2,500. And I'm like, well, it's going to be my magic pen. I need this pen. So it's like, see all these little things stacking. So there's so much overflow in my bank account. I'm unconsciously thinking of creative ways of how to spend it. I didn't need the fucking pen, but I tricked myself that I needed a magic fucking pen, right? So I get to Bali, and this is where it's really funny. Like, you know, and you can manifest things like you think, oh, it's a really good idea. Or like maybe it's like, you know, you might manifest it in ways that you don't want. Like where did that $20,000 tax bill come from? And it's all your unconscious mind trying to pull you back to the same financial reality, because that's where it feels familiar and safe. So I land in Bali, and I'm there with my friend, and I'm like chatting to her, and I'm like, oh my God. And mind you, I'm 10 months into my relationship with my girlfriend. And it was a great relationship. It wasn't like, but I was like, oh my God, my soul just told me now is the right time to propose. So I decided I'm going to propose to my girlfriend when she comes and flies to Bali in 10 days time, right? She's booked her flight. I know she's coming, not this weekend, next weekend. Great. And then it's like, okay, cool, I'm going to get engaged. Cool, I'm going to propose. What's this going to look like? I'm running around Bali trying to find an authentic fucking diamond ring. Do you think anywhere that I can find an actual real diamond ring in Bali? Fuck no. I'm walking around. I'm going to like the actual shopping centers. Nothing. The only thing that I could find that was even remotely close to a real diamond ring was there was a Cartier store, and they wanted to charge me for 0.5 of a carat, right? For 0.5 of a carat, which is fucking like a bee's dick. You can't even see it, right? $30,000 Australian dollars. $30,000 for half a carat. I'm like, nah, get fucked. So I was like, what do I do? So then I started calling around in Australia. And my friend at the time, EJ Love, I was like, what if she was going home anyway? I'm like, if I fly you back and I pay for your flights and accommodation to fly back to be the ring bearer, can you go back home to Brisbane and pick it up from the wholesalers? She's like, yes. So then I'm on the phone call trying to get the best bang for my buck. I end up buying a $24,000 engagement ring. It was like literally from the ring to get it molded. I already knew I wanted it printer's cut. I wanted this clarity. So I knew all the things, and which is very odd for me because I don't know, I just, you know, got really educated really fast. And so they basically made it within 48 hours. My friend EJ picked it up. I booked her flights. I booked her accommodation. She came flying back. And she was the ring bearer, and she was so excited about it because she's all about like love and conscious relating. And she's like, oh my God, I love that I'm the ring bearer. This is so fucking cool. Anyway, so my then girlfriend lands. I'm like all secretive. It's all great. And then I decide as well, like I love old Alex, but holy fuck, she's so extravagant. And you know what? when and if I do propose again, I know it'll probably be just as extravagant as this, if not more. But I decided as well that I needed to hire the Wow W Suite at the W Resort, which was another, I think, $3,000 per night. And then I needed to buy a gift for my girlfriend for every day that she was away to hide that there was a proposal. So I'm talking like a blow up unicorn in one room, a GoPro thing, this, that. So like it was this whole thing. So I pretended that I was taking her out for dinner. I was like, hey, babe, like before we go out for dinner, can we just go to level 3? I just want to share something. I just want to check something out on that level. It's something really cool there. She's like, okay. And she was none the wiser. And then we went and I was like, oh, what's that envelope on top of that thing? And it said like her name, and she opened it up and that was like envelope 1, which led to the present one, which led to envelope 2. I mean, sorry guys, if your potential missus is watching this, I really up the standards and raise the bar of proposals. But the detail that went into this, probably another $5K on the proposal and the gifts and the that and the 24,000, and you get the gist, right? And then on top of that, I decided, I think like Morgan at the time and like all these other people that live in Gold Coast were at Bali at the time that I was there. And I was like, let me have a pop-up engagement party too. I don't want to just propose. I want an immediate pop-up party. I want catering. I want cocktails. I want people coming into the freaking Wow Suite thing that I got. So of course, I proposed. It was beautiful. It was amazing. Immediately after, they were all waiting downstairs at the W hiding, and I gave them the green light. Next thing you know, she says yes. 20 people come in. There's cocktails, espresso martinis, catering, fucking 20 champagne bottles. Like, I went all out. Quick pause, legend. If this episode is landing, then it's time you got inside 5DU. This is my entire life's work in one hub. It's 5D identity work meets business strategy that actually creates results. If you're ready to finally live in overflow, 5DU is your next step. So click the link in the show notes and get inside. Now back to the episode. The reason I share this with you is because there was a sneaky subconscious sabotage that was actually playing out beneath it all. I thought I was just celebrating my abundance. I thought like now was the right time. And I'm not saying it wasn't, but now in hindsight, when I look back, the truth is I was unconsciously trying to find and did find creative ways to go back down and take my bank balance back down to what felt familiar. I didn't even mention that literally the week that I landed back in Australia as an engaged woman, I decided then was the right time to buy my $50,000 Range Rover. So when I mean I was depleting my bank account, I was all fucking in, right? And then I realized, wow, like it's not that I went into scarcity, but I realized like after it took me about 2 years of looping between like 60K, 80K, 60K, 80K. And I was like there, which is still very abundant for most entrepreneurs. But for me, it was infuriating that I was making 50, 60, 100K months and that my wealth wasn't building, right? And maybe you'll resonate with this, whether you're making consistent 20K months, but you don't have more than 5K in the bank account. Like what the hell? And so, it was really interesting because for a long time, I didn't even realize that I had a financial thermostat problem. And the reason is because I wasn't actually even educated of what a financial thermostat problem is, right? Why I was unconsciously staying stuck at the same income level. So all I really want you to understand is a financial thermostat problem. It's almost like I want you to see like there's this thermometer, and I might even do a whole episode on it, but let's say you've got a thermostat, kind of like a thermometer. Down the bottom, you've got your red line. Up the top, you've got your ceiling, and in the middle, you've got your comfort zone. Most people operate their business anywhere between their comfort zone to their red line. And this is a problem with the industry or with businesses because we're all trying to trick and manipulate people with our marketing from a place of scarcity. We're not actually taking action from overflow. Meaning, imagine if you had $1 million in your bank account right now, or for some of you, even 20K in your bank account, what safety that would create in your nervous system and how your marketing would look different, how your content would look different, how you would dare to show up differently, how much more authentic you would be and how less fucks you would give about doing the perfect fucking call to action and blah, 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 you'd probably be a whole lot more you, which means you would start attracting more people that are actually aligned to your offer, right? And this is why I'm such an advocate of helping people actually create financial stability, because when we do that, everything changes. Our content changes, our nervous systems feel more safe to actually be more authentically expressed in everything we produce. We change social media. Because at the moment, let's be honest, we go on social media and a lot of it's a fucking dog's breakfast, regurgitated, scarcity 3D, fucking bro marketing tactics. It's all fucking outdated. You can feel the frequency of it. You can feel the frequency of it, and we're sick and tired of it. So, okay, I realized I had a financial thermostat problem. And I literally, after about 4 years of this, I'm like, I am so done with this. I need to change this. So what I started doing is, and I don't want you to take this as gospel, like, oh, she did this one thing. That's all I'm going to do. Like, obviously, it's more than just this one thing. And I will say the subconscious energetic tool that I used to lock in a new wealth set point was my vibe boosters. Now, you know, these are like MIDI meditations that are creating consistent heart-brain coherence throughout my day. Why this is so powerful is because throughout my day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day, I am raising my vibrational set point to abundance, to abundance, to abundance, to abundance. So I had a kick-ass morning routine, but I wasn't really doing anything to maintain my frequency throughout the day. And this is what I see with so many people. You might have a great morning routine. You go to the gym, you might do a meditation, but then what happens by 12 o'clock, by 2 o'clock, by 4 o'clock, you go into scarcity again. What are you doing to consistently raise that vibrational set point? Now, over 8 months of doing these vibe boosters, I call them vibe boosters. If you're going to create your own vibe boosters, I don't want to sound like a dick here, but please just create your own IP. Don't call them vibe boosters. That's my IP. Call them frequency raisers. Call them MIDI meditations. Call them something else. Vibe boosters, they're an Helix tribal thing with respect. Vibe boosters changed my life because honestly, within 8 months, I went from being stuck anywhere between 80K to 120K in my bank account. 120K was my ceiling. Ooh, anything beyond that, I'd unconsciously spend. 80K was my red line. Oh, we need to launch. I'm in panic, right? So that was like my thing. And I want you to work out what's your red line, what's your ceiling, what's my comfort zone. And then, right, what happened over 8 months, literally 8 months of plugging into these vibe boosters like a religion, like my life depended on it, like my income depended on it, like my mission depended on it, because it did, I increased my wealth by over 330%, right? Meaning I took my bank balance to over fucking, I think it was like over 300 or 400K within 8 months, which is insane because I wasn't doing anything different strategically. I wasn't touring the world. I wasn't doing anything big. Like it wasn't more action. In fact, I was doing the same strategically. I was actually just changing my internal wealth set point. And this is the magic of these tools. So, I mean, I've got 7 vibe boosters that you can buy on, if you want to go to my Instagram, they're literally $7. They're called like vibe boosters if you want to taste, and we cover different areas. I've also got like 35 vibe boosters in my 5DU, in my mastermind. I teach my clients how to make your own vibe boosters. Like this is a game changer. So if you know that you are unconsciously spending, or if you're sick and tired of making money and not knowing where it's going, this is telling me that there is a larger part of you that even though you say you consciously want to shift into a new reality, you are gaining a lot more safety because of the familiarity of the current financial reality that you're in. So it's time to change this, not by doing more, but by shifting your internal state of being. And it all starts with these vibe boosters and so much more when you come into my world. So I trust you got value from that. Work out what your ceiling is. Work out what your red line is. Work out what your comfort zone is. And then try to see what behaviors you do in between. Is it that you're constantly launching when you're in red and you're in panic zone? What would your reality look like if you change the game? Because that's what I'm here to do. I'm really here to help people create a healthy money buffer, be a custodian for their money buffer. So this translates in their personal brand, in their content and what they're creating, and we change social media, we change what we're consuming, we change the fucking world. I love you and see you on another episode of The Alex Tripod Show. Thanks for tuning into The Alex Tripod Show. If this episode activated something inside of you, leave a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify and hit that subscribe button on YouTube so you never miss a frequency drop, because this isn't just a podcast, it's a mission to raise the vibration of humanity, to awaken millions, to build new earth, one lit up legend at a time. And if you're ready to go deeper, wilder, and all in on your soul's legacy, come play on Instagram at Alex Tripod. I'm there daily dropping codes, calling out bullshit, and helping you manifest the life you actually want. Let's keep playing big, because we're only just getting started.